misty hills of Ravenswood, Dr. Amelia Blackwood lived a life of solitude and regret. Her world, a small cottage on the outskirts of town, overlooking the abandoned Ravenswood Asylum. Its decaying walls, a constant reminder of her past. Amelia's nights were plagued by whispers, echoes of patients long gone, or so she thought. She'd wake in cold sweats, heart racing. Memories of screams and desperate pleas haunting her dreams. By day, she'd stare at the asylum from her window. Its broken windows like hollow eyes, watching, waiting. Amelia's hands would shake as she poured her morning coffee. The weight of guilt heavy on her shoulders. She'd been a promising psychiatrist once, determined to revolutionize mental health treatment. But something had gone terribly wrong. One stormy evening, as rain lashed against her windows, lightning illuminated the asylum's silhouette, and Amelia noticed a flicker of light from the east wing. Impossible, she whispered. The asylum had been closed for decades. Its dark history sealed away with rusted chains and padlocks. But the light, it called to her. A siren song of mystery and redemption. Amelia's hands trembled as she reached for her old case files. Dust-covered reminders of lives she couldn't save. She flipped through pages, faces of the forgotten staring back at her. Each one, a story of hope turned to despair. With a deep breath, she made her decision. It was time to face her demons, once and for all. The path to the asylum was overgrown. Each step, a journey into her own troubled past. Thunder rumbled overhead, as if warning her to turn back. But Amelia pressed on, drawn by an unseen force and the weight of her guilt. The massive iron gates creaked open at her touch, as if welcoming her, or perhaps trapping her. Inside, the air was thick with decay and forgotten memories. Shadows danced on peeling walls, whispering secrets of treatments gone wrong. Amelia's flashlight beam cut through the darkness, revealing overturned gurneys and shattered medicine bottles. She paused, listening to the silence, broken only by the sound of dripping water and her own ragged breath. Her footsteps echoed through empty corridors, each sound a reminder of the lives that once filled these halls. Memories flooded back, of patients screaming in the night, of experimental treatments and desperate attempts to cure the incurable. Amelia's heart raced as she climbed the stairs, each step a groan of protest beneath her feet. The higher she climbed, the more oppressive the air became, as if the very walls were closing in, trapping her in her own guilt. The light, it came from the old therapy room, where she had once tried to heal broken minds. With trembling hands, she pushed open the door. The room was empty, save for a single chair in the center. And there, sitting as if waiting for her, was a patient file. Her breath caught in her throat as she opened it, and gasped. It was her own file, dated 20 years ago. The day she became a patient in her own asylum. Memories flooded back, of a breakdown, of losing herself in the mind she tried to heal. She saw herself strapped to a chair, electrodes attached to her temples, her own screams echoing through the asylum. The whispers grew louder. "Welcome home, doctor," they seemed to say. Panic gripped her heart. She had to escape. This wasn't just an abandoned asylum. It was her own personal hell. But as she turned to flee, The door slammed shut. Amelia pulled at the handle. It wouldn't budge. The whispers grew louder, closer, surrounding her, enveloping her. She pressed her back against the wall, trapped as shadows took form around her. Ghostly patients with hollow eyes and twisted smiles reached for her with spectral hands. She recognized their faces. Patients she had failed, lives she couldn't save. "Join us, Doctor," they whispered. "You belong here with the ones you failed." Amelia screamed, but the sound was swallowed by the asylum's hungry walls. She closed her eyes, praying it was all a nightmare. But when she opened them, the faces were closer. Cold fingers brushed against her skin, drawing her deeper into their world of madness. Amelia fought, struggling against the pull of insanity. But with each passing moment, she felt her grip on reality slipping. The room began to spin, walls melting, reality bending. As the shadows enveloped her, Amelia realized the terrible truth. She had never left the asylum. Her cottage, her life outside, all a delusion. She was still a patient, trapped in her own mind. The asylum had called her back to face her demons. Amelia felt her sanity slipping away, her mind fracturing, merging with the asylum itself. She became one with the whispers, a guardian of forgotten souls and broken dreams. In that moment, she understood. The line between healer and patient was thinner than she'd ever imagined. The next morning, Ravenswood Asylum stood silent once more. No trace of Dr. Amelia Blackwood or the lives she tried to save. But on stormy nights, locals swear they see a light in the east wing, and hear whispers carried on the wind. Some say it's Amelia, still trying to heal broken minds. Others believe it's a warning to stay away. Beware the abandoned asylum, for some minds are better left unhealed, and some doctors become their own worst patients. In Ravenswood, the storms still come, and with them the echoes of madness. The asylum stands, a silent monument to the thin line between sanity and insanity. Amelia Blackwood had found her purpose. In madness, she became the cure she'd always sought. And so, the legend of Ravenswood Asylum lives on. A tale of sanity lost and nightmares found, where the walls between reality and delusion are as fragile as the human mind itself, and where one woman's quest for redemption led her into the depths of her own fractured psyche. Visitors to Ravenswood, beware, for in the shadows of the forgotten asylum, the line between doctor and patient, healer and sufferer, blurs like whispers in the mist.